The path to greatness is never smooth, and you know that. Every step toward the top, every move to become your best self, will be met with frustration, setbacks, and obstacles that seem impossible to overcome. That's just how it is, and honestly, it's what you should expect. The thing that sets achievers apart from quitters isn't talent, it's mindset. And you, my friend, are beginning to realize that the mindset of a true warrior isn't shaped by success. It's forged in the ability to rise every single time frustration tries to take you down. Here's the first lesson: frustration isn't your enemy. It's just a sign that you're stepping outside your comfort zone. It's proof that you're pushing the boundaries of your capacity, and guess what? That's exactly where transformation happens. When handled right, frustration can become your fuel. Don't run from it. Don't fear it. Frustration is a turning point, and you've got the power to flip it into the strength to keep going. Now, it's up to you. Will you let frustration enslave you, or will you use it as a springboard to something greater? Think about it. The difference between who you are today and who you'll be tomorrow lies in how you handle frustration. It can either be the end or the start of something extraordinary. The first thing you've got to wrap your head around is this: frustration isn't your enemy. It's not here to tear you down. Quite the opposite. Frustration is what separates those who quit from those who persevere. When you feel frustrated, you know what that means? It means you're pushing your limits. You're testing yourself and stepping into territory that's way beyond your comfort zone. And guess what? That's where the magic happens. Let's get real. No matter how hard you try, frustration is gonna show up. It's inevitable. The question is, how will you deal with it? If you're expecting life to be smooth sailing all the time, without roadblocks or challenges, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Frustration is a natural response when you're attempting something new, something that demands more from you than you've got in the tank right now. But what if, instead of fighting frustration, you embraced it? What if you started seeing it as a signal that you're actually making progress? Frustration doesn't mean failure. It means you're stretching, growing, and breaking through what you thought you were capable of. And let's be clear, there's no growth without pain, discomfort, or that gnawing feeling of frustration. Life's gonna throw challenges at you that make you question whether it's all worth it. It's not about avoiding frustration, it's about learning how to use it to your advantage. For all of us, that's the defining moment. When life knocks you down, when you feel lost and drained, that's when the real test begins. How do you respond? How do you turn those moments into opportunities to rise stronger, more determined, more resilient? Don't fool yourself into thinking only the weak face hardships. The strong face everything. The difference is, they refuse to be defined by a bad moment. Frustration has a way of exposing who you really are. It's not in easy victories or controlled situations that your true character shines. What truly defines your strength is how you respond when everything seems to be falling apart, when your plans go sideways, when you're backed into a corner, when doubt creeps in. That, my friend, is when your real strength comes to the surface. Yeah, I know, it's tough to hear. The pain of frustration isn't something anyone signs up for. But you need to understand this. True strength doesn't come from a life free of frustration. It comes from the ability to keep going when frustration hits you like a freight train. Real strength is resilience, and resilience isn't built in easy times. It's forged in the heat of battle, in the middle of chaos. You won't get stronger by avoiding situations that frustrate you. You'll only grow stronger by facing them head on, by dealing with them when everything around you is screaming at you to give up. And here's the kicker: frustration doesn't make you weak. It tests you. It drags you out of your comfort zone and forces you to give more than you thought you had. That's the defining moment, the moment you decide whether to rise or fold. Let's face it, everyone's afraid of failure. You felt it, I felt it. It's universal. But here's the thing, what you do with that fear is what separates the stuck from the unstoppable. Fear's a natural response. It's wired into us to keep us safe, but you can't let it call the shots. So, let me ask you this. What would you do if you weren't afraid of failing? What could you achieve if you gave yourself permission to mess up and learn from it? That fear that keeps you frozen, that whispers, "What if I fail?" It's robbing you of growth. Failure isn't some big, bad monster you need to run from. It's a teacher, a tool, a stepping stone. Every time you fail, you're getting closer to figuring out what works. Failure's not the enemy, it's the road to success. It's the trial and error process that sharpens your skills, strengthens your resolve, and gets you ready for the next big leap. The mistakes? They're the breadcrumbs leading you to breakthroughs. So, stop dodging failure, run straight at it. There's something valuable in every stumble. The real trick isn't to avoid falling. It's to bounce back higher every time you hit the ground. What are you waiting for? Fear's not going anywhere, but it doesn't get to define your path. Only you do. Still waiting for certainty? Most people are. We hold out for some magical sign or a sure thing to confirm we're on the right track. Here's the brutal truth. You're never going to get that guarantee. If you keep waiting for it, you'll spend your whole life stuck in neutral. The real secret to achieving anything worthwhile is taking action, even when you don't know how it'll turn out. It's not about knowing it'll work. It's about having the guts to try anyway. Life isn't handing out maps with perfectly paved roads. All it's offering you is a chance to explore, take risks, and keep moving forward even if you're scared out of your mind. When you take a step without certainty, you open yourself up to possibility. You start learning, growing, and discovering what's really achievable. Certainty? It doesn't teach you squat. It's stagnant. Uncertainty, on the other hand, forces you to adapt, innovate, and build resilience. So, stop fearing uncertainty. It's your fuel. The idea of certainty is just an illusion, and those who chase it are wasting time. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, spoiler alert, it's never coming. Instead, be bold, start now, and figure it out as you go. Action breeds clarity. Movement sparks progress. Quit waiting and start creating. What do you do when you fail? Most people quit. Others spiral into despair. But here's the kicker. Success isn't about dodging failures. It's about mastering the art of using them. Every mistake is a hidden gem, a lesson in disguise, an opportunity for growth that most people miss. You can't rewrite the past, but you can rewrite the story you tell yourself about it, and better yet, use it to shape a stronger future. Failures aren't the end, they're the beginning of something bigger. Every stumble brings you closer to figuring out what doesn't work, and that knowledge becomes your springboard to what does. But here's the big question. Are you willing to see every failure as a lesson, or will you let it define you? The way you respond to failure is what really matters. When you see setbacks as chances to adjust, you turn pain into power. It's not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. If you've never failed, you've never tried anything new. And if you've never tried anything new, you're stuck in a life without growth. So, the next time you fall, remember this: you didn't fail, you learned. Each failure is a stepping stone to becoming the person you're meant to be. Now get up, use it as fuel, and level up. Think challenges are roadblocks? Let me hit you with a truth bomb. Challenges are the key to your evolution. Every time you face something that feels impossible, you're being tested, pushed beyond your limits, and reshaped by the struggle. That's where the magic lives. Here's the problem. Most people are terrified of discomfort, scared stiff of failure. And that's what keeps them trapped right where they are. They avoid challenges, chasing the easy way out. But the easy path? It locks you in a cycle of mediocrity. Real growth comes when you confront your fears, face your insecurities, and tackle what scares the hell out of you. You want to grow? Start seeking challenges. Don't wait for them to find you, hunt them down. The truth is, in those moments when you're stretched to your breaking point, that's when you discover what you're truly made of. Challenges aren't meant to break you, they're there to build you, shape you, make you smarter, stronger, and tougher. Next time a challenge shows up, instead of running, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Face it head on. Make room for the evolution it brings. That's how you rise to a whole new level. Let's make one thing clear. Your success isn't measured by how you handle happiness or easy times. It's defined by how you face setbacks, challenges, and pain. That's the heart of a warrior. A warrior doesn't crumble. A warrior doesn't back down. They rise, learn, and keep going. So, here's the question. What are you gonna do with the frustration you feel? Will you let it break you, or will you use it to become unstoppable? Your answer will shape everything.